Mandos, this is the way. Hello and welcome to Mandos number 5. I'm your host, Mandalorian, the X-Wing Jesus. And today's show, we're going to be counting down the top 5 ships of the rebellion. Clues in the title. But before we do that, just want to bring you up to speed with what I've been getting on with. I started a Patreon, so just to get things going a little bit better, get things sorted out with video quality and things like that. Support me on Patreon. You can find me under Mandos. Then we've got click like and subscribe for YouTube. You can get all the shows you want there as well. And then we've also got the Mandos Facebook page, which is just a little bit of fun. So on with the show. So we're gonna go through, before we get to the top 5, we're just going to go through a lot of the ships that are in Star Wars around the peripheries and stuff like that of the rebellion that take part in it. So a lot of those ships, weirdly enough, are all in Rebels as I've been going through, and I've raided my X-Wing collection for a majority of all these ships. So let's have a look. So we start off with, this is a bit of an obscure one. I don't know where this comes from. It must be from the comics or something. We have the K-Wing. So you see that way up? Forms a K. You can see that. Heavy bomber with turrets on. And it's got all sorts of stuff. It's got all the weapons. But there we go. That's K-Wing. Not sure where that one's from. Then we have an E-Wing. So I believe Jedis fly this because it's that hard to fly. They need the Force to be able to fly it. There you go. That is the E-Wing. That's a lot like an X-Wing, but there you go. I'm not sure why it's called an E-Wing. We have Azituck gunship. Apparently, that's made out of wood, and that's a Wookiee gunship. That one. So there we go. Have a little Z95, little basic starfighter. And we have this one. So the only pilot I know that flew one of these for the rebellion was Captain Nim. And this is a Skirg bomber, very much like the E-Wing. Turret on the top as well, fires missiles and stuff. Yeah, Captain Nim, he was a pirate, privateer, and he ended up fighting for rebellion, one of the Quarren race. And we have a Arc 170. So these are left over from the Clone Wars. I believe there were only 4 left over, but they flew for the rebellion. Wicked ship. I like that ship. So now we're on to ships that are in almost. Here we have Rebel transport. So as you can see, the escape from Hoth. They had all the bits underneath, and that's a wicked ship. Pretty iconic, escape from Hoth. There we go. Right, now we're into Rebels. We'll start off with the most obscure one from Rebels, but quite a popular ship, and that is YT-2400. So this is Dash Rendar's ship. He wasn't in Rebels. It's another smuggler, but yeah, they get away from the Empire by dropping cargo containers off the back and blowing them up. There we go. That's that one. Then we have another famous ship. There's Jedi, but it was in Rebels a lot. Is the A-Wing. Fantastic little fighter, that one, like that. And we have another iconic ship from Jedi, but also in Rebels. We have the B-Wing. So obviously, this puts the wings down to land, and the cockpit rotates and stuff like that. Another iconic ship is the Y-Wing. Yeah, it was only in a couple of episodes of Rebels, but most importantly, it was there all through the first 3 films, or 4, 5, and 6. And we have a attack shuttle exclusively from Rebels. And then we have the Attack Shuttle 2, Chieftainpeed, which is pretty cool as well. And then the final one that I've got is Sabine's TIE Fighter that she famously painted up. And this has got to be the biggest ever TIE Fighter because it fits like 3 or 4 of them in the cockpit. Nobody's quite sure how they made that happen, especially with Zeb, who's very big and Wookiee sort of sized character. So, without any ado, on to the top 5. Right, so coming in at number 5 is the Y-Wing. Now we see this was specially designed for Rogue One. A lot of the team are in this for pretty much most of the film. It's brilliant. It takes off, the wings sweep back and it goes into hyperspace, and really, really good. I love that ship. I think it's wicked, and the massive engines on the back. It's really, really good design. I like the way the wings move and everything. It's awesome. So Cassian and obviously K2SO fly that one around quite a bit. So we should be seeing it hopefully in Andor, and how they get hold of that ship. That's probably one of the stories anyway. On to the top 4 next. So top 4 is probably one of the most famous ships. It's the very first ship we see in Star Wars, and it is the Tantive CR-90 Corvette. That is just amazing. How, you know, when we see that one just come over the screen, it's like that, and then the Star Destroyer is chasing after it. That was just mind blowing. As the first Star Wars film we see, and that happens, it's just absolutely wicked. And famously has R2-D2 in the front. If you look very carefully on that A New Hope at the start, you see R2 in the front window of that. So on to number 3. So number 3, I didn't see behind me, I haven't mentioned it yet, but it is an X-Wing. So behind me, there and there, X-Wing. And then obviously that's in its flight mode, better for flying around, and then open the wings up and there we go into attack mode. Really, really cool. Helps Luke get his one shot in a million. Must be easy to fly because I don't think he'd flown one until that point. There we are. This is my number 3. Number 2, we have the VCX Ghost. Why is it number 2? Well, we see it all the way through Rebels, and it's such a cool ship, very versatile. It's got a great big storage facility in there, or facility for storage anyway. But we see the whole crew getting to grips. They live in this, and it's just awesome. It has so much going for it. Turrets, lots and lots. We had lots of coverage for it in Rebels as well, 4 seasons, and I think it was pretty much in every episode. So I'm not sure, but it might be the ship with the most screen time. Who knows? I'll let somebody else comment on that. But yeah, so next up is the hot number 1. We've counted down the top 5. We have the U-Wing in top spot. Then we have the Tantive 4. We got the X-Wing. Then we got the Ghost. The only ship that's really left is the Millennium Falcon, the YT-1300. And what's so special about it? Well, this is where we get our first look at Star Wars, and that's where a lot of the action happens with the Millennium Falcon. Even that we're talking about Luke getting his one shot in a million. Well, Han comes in, with Chewie, bang. And there's a fantastic scene as well where the TIE fighters are attacking the Falcon from the escape from the Death Star. It's a great ship, and it spans a lot of the time from the Skywalker saga. There must be lots and lots of these made because Han knows about these, even as he's on his home planet of Corellia, that his father helps build them. And that's his dream ship. His dream comes true and he flies one, ending up with his best friends for pretty much the whole of his life. But the Falcon is brilliant. I just love it. It has loads of iterations. You have this is the Rebellion era one. So Resistance has a square dish, and it's also and it's a pile of scrap. But that bit in Force Awakens where you just see they go, oh, let's get on that ship. They blow the quad jumper up. They go, oh, let's get on that ship. And you see the Falcon. It's like, wow, that is so cool. And it is And like it or not, the Falcon is actually a character in the Star Wars universe. And that's what makes it really special. You know, got that emotional tie to it. So there you go. I hope you like my top 5 rebel ships, or ships of the rebellion, however you want to say it. Thank you for watching, and this is the way.
Mandos,